a chance. There's a chance that
go inside the box of Execration and cause havoc there. And also for the Barretts here on the side of Execration, we have 33.3% win rate, 3 times picked, and then one.
yeah, one win.
One win
for him.
for Execration.
That is most likely going into the hands of Reggio in the turtle lane. Meanwhile, LPE, because they also feel that way. I mean, we barely see, or we haven't seen a Barrett's tank game at all this season. Usually that does go into the XP lane. They're starting to take away the heroes here of Chaknu. So they take away the Kufra. And the question is, will they take away another playmaking tank that he favors? I don't see LPE thinking about banning out the Atlas. If I'm LPE, I'd rather see Execration try to pull off something like giving Chaknu the Estes, which hasn't worked out so well for Execration. So it might be a support or healer type of position 5 that can go to Chaknu that LPE are looking out onto banning. Meanwhile, Execration, they're deciding to take, they took away another mage, surprisingly enough, and they also take away a comfort tank pick for BMO, which is the Grok, so that they don't have a lot of that early game aggression that LPE shows every time they have that Grok.
And we've seen a lot of times BMO always playing with his Grok here, just moving around all throughout the map, causing havoc, and also one of the veterans playing the Grok here. And also for Execration, I really love the way they banned the Lunox here on the side of LPE. And well, given the fact, because Jake the Dog, also looking at the screens earlier when we had the matchup, or we had the head-to-head matchup, Jake the Dog also plays Chang'e on the gold lane. Most of the Chang'e players right now, especially Rebo from Bren Esports, and they're already playing those mages on the gold lane just to get those. Saw with, or rather picked up with the Hayabusa, there's a lot of burst potential as well for Execration, so the backlines of LP needs to be careful.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if Execration actually end up going for something along the likes of an Estes, or if they want that hardcore healing. Of course, with the recent nerf to Rafaela, it is not a bad pick. I mean, of course, you still get the healing and the movement speed. That's why you get the Rafaela. But if you want to go for a hard healer, you'd rather get the Estes. Meanwhile, LPE, they go ahead and pick up the Sylvana for BMO. So the backline here of Execration really have to watch out. They're going to need some peel. They're going to need some slow, some crowd control, something to stop Laos Playbook Esports from diving the Farsa and Eve in the backline. But for the last pick, it is wide open. And if you have a great history with it, why not give Chaknu his Atlas?
Yep, and there's no way to escape the real-world manipulation after the fatal lengths of Chaknu here. So LPE needs to go ahead and play safely here. Probably catch the, catch the Hayabusa every single time with Imperial's Justice. And also LPE can move around, or rather fight in a very long range. They have a lot of long range damage, especially for the Granger. So it will be more of a team fight-oriented draft into a pick-off for LPE. So this will be a very exciting fight, especially for their early game.
Yeah, and especially because, since our panel mentioned earlier, the points is what really matters here. The very slim, but still very real possibility that LPE might just surprise Execration and take over their spot. LPE looking for a 2-0 win to really just hammer on that possibility that we are still alive and breathing here. Meanwhile, Execration, after finally breaking their 5-game lose streak last week, they're looking to be on the more positive side of that and get that win streak as we enter the Celestial Palace for game number 1 between Execration and LPE. Early game though, who do you see having the advantage over the objective fights?
Looking at the currently objective here, I'm currently in favor of LPE. They have a lot of bursts. They can also clear out the minion waves with the Jake the Dog using the Chang'e. Again, once they've reached the level 4, they can easily remove all those creep minions, or rather control the lane equilibrium in their favor, causing them to rotate much more faster. They have a lot of burst potential as well using Yaku's Granger. So looking at the early game fight, I think it will be in favor of LPE.
Yeah, However, it will get to that awkward point wherein the burst, the magic damage that the execration will finally get with their scaling on the even the fire, so will start to be a problem for LPE. So LPE need to control it somewhat. They can't let excess snowball too fast, but then at the same time, since it might be, as you said, a little bit too risky at the beginning, because LPE will just be able to body out execration during the objective fights, they need to not give up so much as they're scaling.
That's true. Because again, we're talking about high cooldowns here on the side of execration. Yes, they can. Well, the strength of this draft is more of a team fight oriented. But when it comes to pickoffs, yeah, I completely agree. It's all about the power spikes here for LPE. But right now, we're looking at more of a standard. At all, since they're able to force back KLVJ, and it was also a nice attempt, a nice zoning Void Crystal there from Etomax, preventing any kind of approach or aggressiveness on the side of LPE. But as you mentioned earlier, the turtle will be taken by LPE.
And by the way, Jake the Dog, who just ate up a flame shot and a feathered airstrike there. Oh, E2 Max as well, being aggressive, really chasing out Jake the Dog right in the last second at the edge of real-world manipulation, able to take out the Uranus. But here comes now BMO on that mid-lane Lapu-Lapu, by the way, something that they flexed last week. Not going to be able to get a kill there. So, Execration, they're trading. They lost the turtle, but because of the aggression of E2 Max and Kelra, so much coverage in that bottom lane, they were able to take out Ryota's Uranus.
Yep, that's true. And also with that flame shot, it shouldn't be enough damage if he didn't actually throw that flame shot. And also with the communication from Execration, they knew that, okay, once we've hit this level 4, we can take down at least one of the most valuable heroes for LPE, which is the champion. You're preventing his level 4, but look at this, Arbs.
That's gonna be the ultimate. Imperial Justice committed there. Kelra takes so much, but look at that! The bird stuck in the cage, able to fly around inside just to avoid the damage from the meteor shower as Beemo's gonna spot out Chaknu, hitting him with the bravest fighter hits, but Chaknu will be able to get away. I like the aggression that both teams are showing early on.
I completely agree. We are starting to see the rotation of LP as well doing, or at least trying to even it out on the bottom lane. But unfortunately, with the wings by wings from Keldra, he's able to
First turtle. However, Execration, they're still fighting it close there, so it's not completely too far away. Now, come the late game, because I'm looking at the lineup of Execration and I'm saying, okay, you get really strong burst magic damage, but they don't have that marksman, they don't have the Granger. Is the Barretts going to be enough to hold come the late game to stop the damage onslaught that will eventually come out from LPE?
Well, for the side of Execration, I think when it comes to late game, they will be in a much more favorable spot. Well, when it comes to the 20-minute mark, when it comes to the timers, again, that setup is really a big thing for Execration to win those fights. Again, we're talking about the death timers. We're talking about the amount of damage you can dish out, especially for the magic damage, because again, you're up to a Granger, so more of a glass cannon hero. If he misses position, that is really punishable, especially it is easier for the side of Execration with it.
Yeah, LPE will have to help out Yaku here, positioning really well, considering how there is, come the late game, or all throughout, that Hayabusa is going to be looking. And somehow, with the Cyclone Eye and the movement speed provided from Consecration, Ryota survives and gets away.
He even pops the Purify just to prevent any, or that stun, or that immobilize at the very edge of the real world manipulation, but it's time for Execration to take down this second turtle.
And they're going to be trading things out here. Execution now, once again, going to be focusing on the bottom lane. They'll be able to push the tower down bottom. Or, excuse me, it's LPE who pushes the tower down bottom, and it's Execration who gets turtled this time around. They're not going to be able to cash out Ryota. He's still going to be able to, or I spoke too soon. The Fatal Links connects, and eventually they take down the Light Construct. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, Renzo take a lot of damage from Jake the Dog. He gets the eat and the flicker into the tower, so he's going to survive this somehow. He's still fighting. He might be able to get a kill onto Arves, but Arves with the shield, he'll be able to survive. Great outplay there by Renzo to hold on.
Nice attempt from LP to take down again Renzo, but it's unfortunately that is a very tanky max big guy stacks on this Barats, and you've seen he even absorbs all of the damage, or most of the meteor shower damage, but he's really resilient. He's really tanky right now. But even though it's a very tight spot for Execration, since their bottom lane has been, or their tier 1 bottom lane has been destroyed, so Renzo, the best thing that he can do right now is to cut on the waves and force the rest of Execration to go to the bottom lane, and that is exactly what they're doing right now.
It's going to be 4-man gank down bottom. Meanwhile, Keller spots out Jake the Dog, almost burning him down. Jake the Dog with the second skill shield, able to survive. It's going to be another cage. The Imperial Justice along with the Meteor Shower not going to be enough to take down Keller. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Execution finds another win, and they are able to take down Ryota. Meanwhile, Keller trying to hold on for dear life, but he gets taken out. Trades all around the map, but BMO has also fallen. Execration got the kill down bottom, but because they didn't have the minion wave just yet, they didn't decide to push it. They said, you know what, let's let the minion get their paycheck today. They're going to be the ones to push that out. Both first tier towers in the side lanes have now been broken. Execration finds another pick off there on 2 Arves this time around, and the Sylvana goes down. Meteor shower from Jake the Dog. Look at that, Renzo just choking, or not choking, but he's gobbling it all up without a problem. I may look like a nice fine cut of dinosaur meat. Go ahead, season me, but it's going to be all right with me. Renzo, look at that, the max big guy stacks that you mentioned earlier. He's really becoming the frontline wall or sponge for Execration.
Exactly, and they have 2 sponges for this draft. We have Chapnu onto that Atlas and also Renzo. So this is the main reason why that you don't really need to go for marksman, because again, if you will go for this guy,
and that is going to be a fight. Sorry to cut you off there, TDZ. As Sylvana takes out the Barats. That's going to be the turtle taken away by KLVJ. The shadow kill gives him 2 kills. However, one of those kills went to Eve. Actually, BMO and Jake the Dog need to get on out of there. It's only 3 members of LBE left in the map. Ryota was split pushing the top lane, while Execration got the turtle, got the kills. They have their eyes set on this middle tower. Chaknu does not have his, he does have his fatal links. So LB have to be careful here. BMO goes in. Let's see if Chaknu will be committing that fatal links. Will he? No, he won't just yet. Look at the counter play by LPE. Jake the Dog with a meteor shower like salt play, sprinkling the seasoning onto Execration. Takes out Etamax and Chaknu.
Nice attempt from LPE, and it was a very successful defense, because if LPE weren't able to take down 2 members of Execration, that will be another tier 2 tower takedown, and they really need to get that tier 2 turret, because again, you're up against, you have a draft who needs a buff really badly. But look at this, Arb's bottom lane, Deton is welcome.
Renjo's going to try to hold on, Dennis welcome to heal up, and by time Chaknu is not going to be able to get there just in time as LPE with another aggressive rotation, balancing things out. Chaknu spotting out the members of LPE. He has his fatal links. He's going for Jake the Dog, but Jake the Dog already forced to use the flicker to get away. Etamax Void Crystal to cover the escape of Chaknu, but the meteor shower is making it hard for him. Look at that, BMO with a follow-up, and they'll be able to take him down. Jake the Dog playing like a certain tall caster I know, playing that Chang'e, just using the meteor shower whenever he wants.
What a play there. Nice angle from Jake the Dog here. Able to secure, even though the Chapnu is a really tanky hero, but he went for a support emblem, so not that much additional HP coming from the stats of that emblem, but they're actually respecting that. Yeah, it's okay, you have your pull yourself together, your death timer will be reduced, you can just go ahead and at least zone out, provide information for the rest of Execration how we will engage it. But when Chapnu saw that, yeah, there's really no way, the flicker has been forced out for Jake the Dog, so the best thing that I can do is to escape. But that is a nice turnaround.
Another fight, and it's going to be engaged by Arts into the back line of Execration, committing the Imperial Justice. Granger able to take out the Atlas already. KLVJ using the Shadow Clone to get away from the damage of BMO. LPE looks like they're winning this fight as There's already one member of Execration down. Execration are falling one by one. Jacknu, Idumax, Rengio down for the count. BMO with just a sliver of health, a tickle away from being taken out. LPE win that fight.
Great opportunity for Execration earlier, but unfortunately, they're on to that choke point. But look at Ryota right now, just zoning Kelra out, forced to cancel his ultimate. But then again, what I was trying to say, it was a choke point on the side of Execration. There's not that much damage because the rest of Execration were not that ready. Yes, there is the real world manipulation, but the Feather Strike, the Feather Airstrike is not there. Maybe if there is a Feather Airstrike, it will be a different scenario. But LP now moving forward, trying to get those, or at least prevent any kind of initiation.
Jacknu with the stun, gets the fatal links. Execration is going to follow up. They take it on Jake the Dog. That's going to be a kill for KelVJ. But KelVJ gets shot down by that. Lapu Lapu, LPE fighting this out, but it is a numbers advantage for Execration. But Yaku able to free hit right now. That's gonna be BMO going down. Jacknu still alive, he gets away. Execration LPE still fighting this. Look at that, Yaku still fighting with every inch of his life, but he finally gets taken down there by Renjo. That is 3 members of LPE out in that fight. Renjo looking for another, chasing after Arms, gets the triple kill with his Barrett, and with that, Ryota is the last man standing for LPE.
A nice shuffle of, or a nice exchange of skills there, especially on that middle lane fight. We've seen Jacknu able to escape again and then return back with another ultimate. But unfortunately, the rest of Execration, the rest of LPE already used almost all of their ultimates, and the damage still not enough. Execration, both tanks, Renjo and Jacknu, absorb most of the damage, and also Renjo with the Sky Guardian helmet, he will just soak all the damage right there. And when Execration knew that almost all of their skills from LP has been used, it's time for us to go back. Also, KelVJ, 413 on his KDA. I think I saw a BOD earlier, if I'm not mistaken, and that's a lot of damage here inside of Execration. So LPE, especially the back line, it's Jake the Dog, and also Yaku needs to keep an eye on their positioning, because just one shadow kill is enough for them to take him down.
Yeah, Itomax just picked up the Necklace of Durance as well, gonna help with the regen that LPE has on their side. Meanwhile, Kelra already has the Clock of Destiny, Lightning Crunching, and the Holy Crystal as well. So this Geometry Bomb is starting to look like more of a threat for LPE to deal with. However, it is still very, very close in the goal. So right now, it just seems like it is down to the timing of the skills. When Execration will pop their Geometry combo, but right now it's gonna be Jacknu getting popped. Right here, he gets taken out by LPE, hunted down. Kelra's Feathered Airstrike will not be enough. Take him down. Winter Truncheon already picked up by Jake the Dog. So that's another thing Execration has to be careful of. If they dive or commit too much on that Chang'e, might be on for nothing. Meanwhile, Renjo taking so much damage. Destinus Welcome is going to get committed. He's healing through it. Look at that in the back line. KelVJ able to take one out. The Winter Truncheon comes in big with a burst damage from the King. Takes out Chang'e. Art's getting chased here. Could be a triple kill here for KelVJ if he can chase down Arts. He's gonna go for the chase. Meanwhile, the rest of Execration trying to deal with the annoying Ryota in the back line. He takes down Arts. He goes back with the clone. Ryota's still fighting and holding on. Here comes BMO. He's the last man standing though. This looks like a bad fight to take, and it is Wipeout. Execration find a massive lead.
KelVJ every single time just quad shadowing away, and we mentioned what are the things that needs to be done. You need to take down Jake the Dog and Yaku, and the rest is history. Because the reason why I said that is they don't have that much damage, and these two heroes from LPE, these are the keys. They are the key to for them to win up against any kind of skirmishes against Execration. But look at the damage here. BOD has just picked up by KelVJ.
Now he picks it up.
That's the perfect timing as well. Heptasees and then an endless battle. So he prioritized the endless battle first, so he will get the true damage every single time that he uses that skill, and that helped him secure the kill against LPE. And Execration, the form is really good right now. They can feel it. 42k, 42.6k net worth against a 40k net worth for LPE. So at least one core item in favor of Execration. But look at Execration here. They're just hiding inside the brush, going for a surprise attack. They knew that LPE will try to defend their base or defend against the low. But look at Chaknu here.
For Chaknu, he might be able to get a big fatal leaks. He gets two. LPE are going to try to defend this Execration. Oh, they're too late in there in the follow-up. But he says, you know what? We're not late. We arrived just in time. BMO gets deleted by Execration as they're marching down the mid lane with the Lord. LPE trying to hold on here. Bottom lane turret already destroyed. Now let's see what's going to happen. KelVJ, the damage to the back line. Look at that. The real-world manipulation. Way too much to handle for LPE. That's going to be someone getting gobbled up. It is Arms taken out. Ryota, even he eats up a lot of damage. KelVJ chasing after Chaknu. Look at the damage from that shadow kill. He gets split between himself and Ryota. He's not going to be able to land the killing blow onto Yaku. But that's KelVJ able to get away. Execration has a massive lead here, and they might be able to win game number one. Yaku holding on. Yaku trying to survive. Here comes BMO, but it's not going to be enough. Execration win game number one, as this winning moment is brought to you by Oppo A94.
What a missile expert there from Renzo, controlling the grounds, controlling the team. The strength of it.
Yeah.
Every time that the real world manipulation is always being used, the rest of LP was forced to get out. And also the Chang'e kill earlier from just at the very side of the real world manipulation, that's a big deal for that one last push.
Yeah, it was an interesting turning of the tables, because initially it was LPE just bodying Execration because they lacked the items. Early on, you don't have a lot of damage coming in from the Farsa and Eve, so they were confident with pushing out Execration. But then as Execration got to build up, as we mentioned way earlier, even just right after the draft, eventually it'll get to the point where Execration will be able to hold their position, and LPE, it seems like they didn't quite adjust their playstyle. They still kept playing let's dive the back line, which opened up the back line for KelVJ to just shadow kill away at.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe if they have started or play a little bit more aggressively, because that's how they draft. They need to play aggressively. But